Hi, this is Craig Lang with Health Alchemy video blog week 14. We're going to be going over some ways to raise your vibrations, and we'll talk about, we just went through brain health on week 13, and we're going to kind of continue on some kind of thread here. In week 14, it's a real simple sound that is the simplest of them all, and in the Vedic language they believe that sounds carry information. So the sound Om, and you could just do the letter O with various M's on the end. And so one of the things that we can use with this primal sound is to sort of raise our vibrations. And I like to think of it coming from my sternum, diaphragm, and then up and out. And here's how it goes. It's as simple as taking a deep breath. And then noticing the quiet immediately afterwards. When I go to Kirtan, gets K-A-R-T-A-N concerts with Krishna Das or Deva Premal or Sanatana Kaur or whoever it might be, there's one thing that's very obvious after sounding will be a kind of a profound silence, and then a sound will be noticed, or a thought will be noticed, or I'll notice my heart beating. And what that Om gets you is I know I'm doing it quote unquote correctly when I can feel it's coming from inside out. I'm not looking at myself like, what's so and so thinking of me, or this morning I did it in my room and I have 2 new roommates and feeling like sort of self-conscious about it, like how am I going to affect them? And ultimately I realized that I'm only affecting them in the positive if I'm in a positive frame of mind, that my emanations are coming out of I'm oming in love and trying to support their process and not worry whether I'm going to wake them up at, especially at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, which is, in the quote-unquote order of the universe. Ideal sleeping time is sort of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And in the wintertime, it might even be able to be 7 or 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So really, when it gets dark and when it gets light. So it's where we're coming from inside. And another way, so I like to chant those, you can chant that repeatedly over and over and over again. Another one is chanting a sacred sound such as Om Mani Padme Om, and you can look these up on the web. You can do it, have a little fun with it. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. And you just got to have some fun with it, repeating it over and over and over again. And until we reach a state where our mind, we either see our mind from a bit of a pan back camera and we can sort of not judge our experience and really offering this up. I find this is a great way to raise vibrations. Another one is different sound centers, chakra centers as they're put, have different sounds associated with them. So the bass note to me is the bottom of the body, so that's the UM, and you'll hear debate about this. This is just what I worked out in myself, so keep in mind that you could refute me if you would like, but it doesn't matter to me because this is what works for me. And people say, well, that chakra sound doesn't match that, and it's like, well, you find what works for you. And so UM is the bottom or the base chakra. And then Om for me is the second, the OM, the second chakra, and you raise the vibration of that. Om. And then the third chakra is the AM, or AYM, is AIM, or just AIM. I think I got that wrong actually. I think that A is the fourth. The third is OW, like AUM, OW. And you can play with those and see what works for you. You can feel the density of oo and o and ow and a, and then you work your way up to a higher, in music, people that are into music and singing and stuff, they'll talk about these high notes and low notes, and then go to I or E. So I'll do E for this one, this area. And it's good to visualize each area. So as you're doing the base one, visualizing your pelvis and down around your perineum, and then the second one's kind of just below your belly button, 2 or 3 or 4 inches below the belly button, right in the center of the body. Third one's kind of just around the diaphragm area. Again, it's good to do these from the inside out. Fourth one's right around the heart. Fifth one's right around the throat. Sixth one's right around here. They call the third eye. Really some brain functions. And the seventh is just kind of at the top of the head and then up and out. This is where the portal sort of is. You could call it the pineal gland. And the point, if you want to visualize it, is straight up from the ears along the center line. So you just intersect straight up in the ears and the center line. There's an acupuncture point there that actually is very profound. In me, it's been where my skull plates didn't quite seal, and it actually it bled there once when I had a Reiki a few weeks after a Reiki attunement many years ago, and it just kind of opened up and scabbed, and it was a very strange experience, to say the least. And so let's go back to the fifth sound, is E or I. And I like to end with a E. And then sixth is, you know, you can do something, play with it. There's the UNG sound, like sung. It's kind of like tongue on the top of the mouth. Or ing. And then the last one can play with variations of just like M 3,000 syllables out. M or N or something that you can feel up here and on the periphery. These can also be viewed as center core of our being, working our way out in concentric layers of, you know, the physical body, etheric body, astral body, blah blah blah. I didn't get that right, but there's various densities of our body, and it's viewed in terms of density top to bottom, but it's also inside out. So you can play with these sounds and really help raise your vibration to a higher level, where again we're talking about brain health in the last one. It's really, to me, there's a different tonal vibration that occurs in or and you'll feel the difference, and you just have to do what works for you. And the whole 7 thing, you know, there's 7 chakras, and some people believe there's 13, 14, 15, 18 chakras. You know, again, we want to get away, I try to get away from belief systems and just go with, you know, what's my experience here. And mind stuff is important too, but that tool is, to me, it's getting back to how does that thought feel, or how does that experience feel. And to me, that's what's way more important, is how do things feel, how do things resonate in my being, how do things feel in relationship. Like, how does, you know, I say I have a relationship with myself, you know, that's sort of a, to me, it's becoming a very, very strange statement, because I can feel the emotional freedom technique. You know, I forgive myself for, even though I have judgments, I completely accept, love, and forgive myself. And the statement goes on longer than that, but really it's like, who's the myself and who's the I? You know, there's the ongoing question in me. And so I'm talking about ways to raise the vibration so we get clearer about, so there's not 2 things going on, there's just, I'm looking at the camera, speaking to you, but it doesn't matter to me in any sense of I feel separate from the camera or separate from you. And the Christian mystics pointed at this in the Gospels. Again, back to pointers, instead of getting away from judgments about who said what or whether they lived or not. It's not really even important whether we believe Jesus lived or not, or whether Carlos Castaneda was telling the truth or not, or whether so-and-so said so-and-so. It's just how things feel inside of us. So let thine eye be single is a good pointer to me of, you know, they're pointing at something again. And in brain health, so many health teachers I've read and experienced over my lifetime have said, if you don't have a healthy gut, if you don't have a healthy diet, you're not going to be clear up here. And, you know, we're all going to try and bypass that to some degree until we finally get it. But I'm telling you from personal experience that these ways to raise vibrations are sort of good physical adjustments to get us sort of to a higher level where we're not, where life isn't bigger than us, but we start to, as our awareness expands, we sort of can see life where things are a bit smaller. And then when I say we're raising our vibrations, we're finding ways through all the techniques that I teach and everyone around me, like health teachers like myself that teach, is we've discovered some things and we're just trying to get it out there to share them, because the powers that be really are trying to repulse those things, and they're trying to keep us stuck in the media and stuck in control and stuck in distractions and stuck in ways that they can maintain, or who knows what the they are. But the people at the sort of the top of the food chain, the beings at the top of the food chain, you know, they're sort of still interested, it seems to be, in a sort of a slave mentality. Keep the workers happy and distracted. And lately it seems like it's not even happiness is even part of it. Keep the workers distracted and in fear. And these are ways to sort of counteract that. Because ultimately, as my teacher once said, never forget the diamond in your pocket. And so part of the grace is, as we remember more and we're more present, then we carry a certain trajectory of like remembering more often. We don't fall asleep where life feels bigger than us, and we feel like, I used to feel like a leaf blown in the wind, and now I realize that leaf blown in the wind feeling, when I become aware of it, like the light bulb goes off. Oh, grace, I remember. And then it's like, instead of beating myself up for being asleep, which was the old program 15, 20 years ago, there's been work. I think happiness for me is taking work, and I wouldn't say that was different for everybody, or I wouldn't say that's the same for everybody. I think it's different for everybody, but for me, happiness requires some work because of the programs are just so, they're still running, you know, and that's what grace tells us is, awareness has popped out of the program, and now I'm seeing the freedom that's always and already there, hence the statement, never forget the diamond in your pocket. Because there's this diamond in our pocket of awareness, and we definitely don't want to forget or want to ask to remember more. And just remember those sounds. And there's a video, there's another blog about this on my YouTube channel about chakra scans and sounding techniques, and there'll be more to come in the future. And I'm leading a brain health seminar. This is Craig Lane with Health Alchemy. ALKEMY. Look forward to seeing you all in the future. Signing out, video blog week 14.